In today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 clean and effective high ground retakes that you can start using today. These retakes aren't overcomplicated or flashy for no reason. They're practical, these help you stay unpredictable, and they will give you a better chance of controlling fights. I'll break down each retake step by step so you can pick them up easily. Let's get into it. So the first retake is actually pretty simple. It's literally just wrapping walls around your builds. In my opinion, this is one of the most protective ramp rushes you can actually do in a match. And obviously you can either do it this way or that way. And in my opinion, this one is just so simple. It's just, you can literally implement it anywhere. Obviously, if an enemy is in that direction, you're going to want to ramp rush like this way. So therefore, you're protected from this side. But obviously, if there's a player over there, then you're going to want to do it like this. Again, it's just one of those retakes that you can literally implement anywhere in any game scenario. And obviously, it doesn't take up that many mats as well. It's really easy. Now, you can simply get this done in literally a matter of minutes, even if you are a beginner. And I know this is for beginners, but obviously, you can get this done. Like, I'm doing this without even really thinking about it, to be honest. So this is a really easy, beginner-friendly one to do, and I highly recommend it if you're wanting to improve and get those simpler high ground retakes in. Now, obviously, a lot of players do know this by now, but in my opinion, it's not used that often. Now, moving on to the second high ground retake, and this is actually just a variation of the second one, but it is still really good. Now, obviously, as you can see, that one is a bit more advanced, but it's not actually that hard when it comes to doing it. So obviously, again, you're going to want to wrap your walls around like you did before, edit through here, and then you're going to want to jump and place a ramp and a wall. Actually, I didn't mean to place this one here. Let's just get rid of that. Now, when you're on here, you want to place 2 walls and then a ramp above you. And then you can literally just keep going like this. Obviously, a common mistake that people might make when they're first learning this is placing a ramp right there. Obviously, you don't want it like that. You want it facing this way instead. Obviously, you're combining the first sort of move and the second one at the same time. This might take slightly longer to learn, obviously, because you're implementing this jump in here. But to be honest, a lot of beginners should get this down within, I'd say, about 30 minutes to an hour. You've just got to make sure your stair isn't facing that way. It's facing this way instead. Now, this one isn't necessarily a high ground retake, but it's actually very useful in a game. So obviously, as we all know, regular 90s are just like this. If you want to be way quicker with them, there's something called spider 90s, and that is there. Obviously, with a regular 90, you wrap your walls around, place a floor, and then a ramp. But to be honest, that's very outdated and takes a lot of mats, and obviously, your opponent can gain height way quicker. Now, for this one, yes, you are less protected, but you can literally gain height in a matter of seconds, whereas with the 90 before, it takes way too long. Now, obviously, this one is going to be a bit harder than learning a 90, but obviously, you know, it's way better. A common mistake that a lot of new players will make when learning this is literally just falling off the side like that. Obviously, you've got to time it perfectly, so you're literally here, or, well, preferably there, and then you press the 90, so like that. And obviously, a lot of people who are just regularly doing 90s are not going to be able to keep up with you, since they will probably be about 3 tiles below you. And then when you've obviously got height, you can start beaming down on them, and obviously, you can implement this into other retakes as well. Now, this one's probably easier than the one I said before, but in my opinion, it all depends on the skill level and how good at the game you are. But if you want height fast, and obviously it's not as protected as the others, definitely use this one. So moving on to the fourth retake of this video, things are stepping up quite a bit now, but trust me, if you get this, you can master a lot of high ground retakes. So obviously we're implementing the first high ground retake. Again, you want to obviously make your walls and then your ramp, edit through here, and then you want to jump, place a stair, and then place a cone up there. So 2 stairs and a cone. Then you want to edit this cone right above you, those 2 tiles right there. And then you want to wrap your builds around like that, so you're almost level with this cone. And then to make it easier, because you've just swung your mouse up that way, wrap builds around again with a stair, and then you can just run through here, and you're protected with this cone. Obviously, it's a ramp, but you're still protected. And obviously, if the opponent is here, or they even end up here, you can obviously implement some piece control. So obviously, they're in that box there, and you can just shoot them, or even move to the side and have a peek. So I know that might seem pretty impossible to learn as a beginner, but trust me, if you follow this guide, follow every single build that I've done and shown you how to do it, then that retake is really efficient to learn. Obviously, it doesn't apply to all circumstances because that is quite a hard retake to learn and quite hard to implement in a game, but it is very flashy and can trick some of your opponents. Moving on to the 5th and final retake of today's video, this one is quite hard, so you might have to replay the video quite a lot, but once you get it down, it should be really good and really useful for beginners. This is what it should look like when you've got it down. I know that might seem really hard, but this is how you do it. So obviously, again, you want to wrap your walls around. This is just a fundamental in high ground retakes. Then you want to place a cone on top of this stair. Obviously, as you can see, the cone is just above there. And then you want to put a stair to your right and then another one over to the left. Put a floor and then another ramp. Edit these 2 tiles. Put a wall there, a cone on the top, a cone on a floor, a ramp, jump, and then edit these 2 tiles. Obviously, again, this is what it looks like in a faster motion. As you can see, you know, no one can really shoot you in there, especially if you're coming up from here. They can only shoot you there, and then if you know they're here, then you can maybe have some pre-piece there. I've obviously made this video quite a bit easier for the beginners. Obviously, you can implement that and then come into this retake. If you actually combine the retakes all together, it's a really good starting point, especially if you do a lot of 1v1s on this map. All these retakes combined are actually really good. Obviously, you're already up here in a matter of like 5 seconds. Obviously, your opponent's going to be there, so you can obviously apply pressure when you're up here. But if your opponent is here, like I said before, just edit this tile, do a little bit of pre-piece, and obviously you boxed him up. So that is the end of today's video. I hope you all did enjoy watching the content. I know it's a little bit shorter, but the retakes video I put out last year was really high engaged. A lot of people did enjoy that. And if this video did help you out, let me know in the comments and let me know how I can actually improve my videos as well. I'd really love to hear your opinion. Thanks for watching.